This is not just another backstage fight. This is not just another reality TV squabble. What you're about to hear is the most explosive leak to ever come out of hip-hop's messy underbelly. A secret audio recording has surfaced raw, uncut, unfiltered, capturing Jim Jones, unleashing absolute fury in a way fans have never heard before. The target is none other than Chrissy Lampkin's husband. Yes, you heard that right. The man Jim once swore brotherhood with, the man who was supposed to be family, suddenly found himself on the receiving end of a tirade so brutal it has left the entire industry shaken to its core. The whispers started backstage at a show that was already tense, with cameras rolling, egos colliding, and decades of unresolved bad blood bubbling just beneath the surface. But when the lights went down and the audience cleared out, the real fireworks erupted behind closed doors. And now, thanks to this leaked audio, we all get to hear every cursed word, every betrayal, every buried secret that Jim spat out in a rage so uncontrollable it sounded less like an argument and more like a war declaration. Fans are calling it the final straw. Blogs are labeling it the end of an era. And insiders say what Jim revealed in that recording doesn't just threaten reputations, it threatens to burn down entire careers. Buckle up, because what you're about to hear isn't just drama, it's devastating. And once you know what's on that tape, you'll never look at Jim, Chrissy, or her husband the same again. The night started like any other star-studded hip-hop event. Flashing lights, screaming fans, and legends walking through backstage corridors that felt more like war zones than dressing rooms. Jim Jones had just finished a set that electrified the crowd. Dipset chants ringing in the air, but behind the curtains the energy was anything but celebratory. Multiple insiders now confirmed tension had been simmering all night. Whispers of side conversations, cryptic glances, and silent hostility that everyone in the room could feel. It was as though the walls themselves were holding their breath, waiting for something to snap. And snap it did. According to eyewitnesses, it started with a heated exchange over something small, a comment about Chrissy's loyalty, a subtle dig that her husband apparently made when the cameras weren't rolling. But in Jim's mind, this wasn't just a casual remark. This was betrayal disguised as banter. Within minutes, voices were raised, people were backing away, and security was on edge. And then came the audio. Someone, an insider who clearly wanted this chaos exposed, hit record on their phone as Jim erupted. The sound file spread like wildfire through private group chats before exploding onto gossip blogs and Twitter threads, unleashing a tidal wave of speculation that still hasn't calmed down. In the leaked tape, Jim's voice trembles with rage, every word dripping venom, every sentence a dagger aimed straight at Chrissy's husband. "You don't ever put her name in your mouth again. You hear me? You think you slick? You think you can play me? I've been holding this in for years," he snarled. The audio crackles with the chaos of people trying to calm him down, but Jim's fury drowns everything out. The streets say it didn't sound like an argument. It sounded like a man exercising decades of frustration. And now the whole world knows exactly how deep those wounds run. Fans immediately dissected every second. Did Jim reveal secrets about deals gone wrong? Did he accuse Chrissy's husband of scheming behind the scenes? People swear they heard him shouting about stolen money, fake loyalty, and a knife in his back. "All them times I held you down. And this is how you repay me. You sat there smiling in my face, plotting on my name." Jim's voice echoed like a sermon of betrayal. And the wildest part, nobody from Chrissy's camp has denied a single word yet. That silence has fueled the storm even further. Within hours of the leak, Twitter turned into a battleground. Hashtags like hashtag Jim V's Chrissy Hubby and hashtag Backstage Betrayal were trending nationwide. Memes flooded timelines, fans picking apart the audio like forensic experts. Some claimed they heard Chrissy's husband try to defend himself with faint words in the background. Others insisted the pauses proved he had no defense at all. That silence says everything. One fan tweeted, "If you're innocent, you speak up." But all we heard was Jim, loud and raw. Another viral post said, "This ain't music beef. It's his family turned enemy. And once it's out, you can't put it back." But what makes this story nuclear isn't just the words Jim spoke, it's the history that fueled them. For years, people have speculated about cracks in Jim and Chrissy's bond, whispered rumors about outside influences driving wedges between them, and suspicions that not everyone in their circle wanted to see them thrive. The leaked tape gave those rumors gasoline. In one chilling moment, Jim screamed, "You've been trying to break us since day one. You jealous she chose me? Don't play dumb." That line alone has fans rewriting everything they thought they knew about their dynamic. Was there jealousy? Was there a competition? Did Chrissy's husband secretly resent Jim's role in her life? The streets want answers, and they want them now. Insiders close to the situation describe the confrontation as the ugliest backstage meltdown they'd ever seen. Security guards reportedly tried to intervene, but Jim shoved through, pacing, yelling, veins bulging. At one point, he slammed something heavy against the wall, a chair, maybe, or a mic stand, and the thud is faintly heard in the leaked audio. "This ain't for show. This ain't TV. This is real life," Jim shouted, a line that now lives rent-free across Instagram captions and fan accounts. People are calling it the royest moment in love and hip-hop history without even being on the show. And Chrissy, her name is in the middle of all of this, the woman who has stood beside Jim through endless ups and downs, now dragged into the ugliest feud of his career. Social media is split. Some are accusing her husband of being the true villain. Others are questioning how she could allow things to reach this breaking point. On her own Instagram, Chrissy hasn't posted since the audio leak dropped, leaving nothing but silence, which fans say is the loudest move she could make. Blogs are reporting she's devastated, but whether that devastation is at Jim's explosion or at the betrayal behind it, nobody knows. But here's where the plot twists even harder. Hours after the leak went viral, an anonymous account dropped a second clip, shorter, grainier, but even more damning. In it, you can hear what sounds like Chrissy's husband saying, "Man, you ain't the only one she confides in. Don't act like she ain't been telling me things too." That single line has flipped the internet upside down. Did Chrissy's husband just admit to knowing personal, intimate secrets meant only for Jim? Did he cross boundaries that no friend, no ally, no so-called brother should ever cross? Fans are calling it the smoking gun. Podcasts lit up instantly. One industry commentator said, "If that clip's real, this isn't just betrayal. This is invasion." Jim feels violated, not just as a man, but as a partner. This is chess, and someone just flipped the board. Meanwhile, celebrities are chiming in too. 50 Cent posted a cryptic laughing emoji with the caption, "Told y'all he couldn't keep it together." Cardi B tweeted, "That's why you don't trust nobody in this industry. Even family ain't family." And Spice herself, yes, Spice from LHHATL, went live saying, "That audio. Whew, chilly. I felt that rage through my phone. Jim ain't wrong for snapping. That was deep." Her comments alone sent fans spiraling with new theories about alliances being formed behind the scenes. As the firestorm rages on, one thing is clear. This isn't just a beef. It's a full-blown implosion of trust. A fracture in bonds that were once thought unbreakable. The leaked audio has cracked open a vault of secrets. And everyone is waiting for the next file, the next leak, the next betrayal to surface. And the scariest part, sources are whispering that more tapes exist. That what we heard was only the beginning, a teaser of an entire stash of recordings that could expose even darker truths about Jim, Chrissy, and her husband. The first recording already shattered the internet. But if more drop, this saga could spiral into something unrecoverable. Is this the final unraveling of Jim and Chrissy's empire? Or just the opening act of a scandal that's about to set fire to the entire love and hip-hop universe? Because just when fans thought they had heard it all, an even more shocking twist was about to erupt, and it would make the first leak sound tame in comparison. If the first leak cracked the surface, the second leak detonated the bomb. What fans thought was just Jim's raw outburst turned into something bigger, darker, and far more dangerous than anyone could have predicted. The blogs were already foaming at the mouth after that initial audio of Jim raging at Chrissy's husband. But when the second file hit the internet, it wasn't just Jim's voice this time. It was Chrissy's husband.com/smug, almost taunting in tone, as though he knew every word would cut Jim deeper than any diss track ever could. You think she don't talk to me? You think you the only one she cried to? Stop acting like you own her, the voice sneered in the recording. Fans gasped when they heard it. Was this proof that Chrissy had been confiding in her husband about Jim? Was it proof of some twisted triangle that nobody had ever seen coming? Social media went nuclear in seconds. Theories flooded timelines. Was Chrissy's loyalty split down? The middle, had her trust been misplaced? Or was her husband manipulating private moments for his own power? Every possible angle was dissected, memed, and weaponized. Jim's supporters flooded Twitter with defenses, saying, "This is why he exploded." Imagine your woman's husband throwing shade like that. The wording alone left people spinning. Husband? Was this just a slip in the tape? Or was there more? Some fans speculated it was just slang. Others insisted it was literal. Blogs lit up with clickbait titles. Chrissy married in secret. Jim betrayed twice. The mystery only added gasoline to the inferno. But the tape didn't stop there. After those cutting words, Jim's voice roared back, almost shaking the microphone. "You ain't never had my spot. You jealous 'cause you always been on the outside looking in. Don't ever think you can step into my shoes. Don't ever think you can stand where I stand." The intensity was terrifying. People who've known Jim for decades said they'd never heard him this unhinged before. In the background, you could hear shouting, footsteps, and what sounded like a scuffle before the recording cut out abruptly by dawn the next morning. Every major gossip blog had the clips plastered on their front pages. Shade Room, Baller Alert, Hollywood Unlocked It was everywhere. Screenshots of waveforms from the audio were being analyzed like crime scene evidence. Fans slowed down the tape, enhanced the audio, and argued over whose voices were in the background. Some swore they heard Chrissy herself screaming, "Stop." Others insisted it was a bodyguard. The uncertainty only made the story more addictive. Then came the Instagram Lives. Multiple cast members from Love and Hip Hop jumped on to give their 2 cents. Spice, still reeling from her own entanglements, shook her head and said, "This ain't beef. This is destruction. I've seen fights, but this is love and hate exploding in front of the world." Erica Mena chimed in with her own live, claiming, "Y'all don't even know the half. This ain't new. This been brewing for years." Her words sent fans spiraling back through old seasons, hunting for clues in throwaway comments and tense looks between Jim, Chrissy, and the shadows of men in their orbit. But the wildest twist came when an anonymous Twitter account, the same one that dropped the second leak, posted a chilling teaser. There's more. The third tape will end him. That single tweet had over 100,000 retweets in an hour. Fans begged for the drop, while others speculated it was all a setup to destroy Jim's legacy. Conspiracy theories took off. Some said the leaks were coming from within Chrissy's camp. Others swore Cameron was pulling strings from behind the scenes. And a growing number believed this wasn't just about a personal feud. This was about money, contracts, and industry power. Insiders then poured kerosene on the fire. One source told a blog that fight backstage wasn't random. There was tension building after a business deal went left. Jim felt like he was cut out. Chrissy's husband had information he wasn't supposed to. And when Jim found out, it was over. If true, This wasn't just about betrayal in love, it was about betrayal in business, which in hip-hop often cuts even deeper. Meanwhile, Jim's camp tried to contain the chaos. His publicist released a vague statement. Jim is focused on his music and his family. He won't be addressing rumors. But the problem was, the rumors weren't rumors anymore. They were on tape, and fans weren't buying silence. The hashtag where is Chrissy started trending. People demanded she speak. Memes flooded timelines with captions like, "Sis, better pick a side before the next tape drops." But then came the most devastating blow yet. Another snippet leaked shorter, only 15 seconds, but enough to make fans' jaws drop. What? Featured Chrissy's husband laughing and then saying, "I told her one day he gonna destroy himself, and look at him now." That line broke the internet. Fans flooded comment sections with disbelief. Did this man really just admit he'd been predicting Jim's downfall? Was this all a long play to humiliate him? The betrayal, if true, wasn't just casual shade. It was a calculated plot. The fallout was instant. Fans who'd stood by Chrissy for years turned on her overnight. Her Instagram was flooded with snake emojis. Commenters demanded answers. Why your husband talking like that about Jim? You been letting him disrespect Jim all this time? Even Chrissy's own fan pages began deleting posts in confusion. The silence from her side became unbearable. Every hour she didn't speak felt like another confirmation of guilt. Meanwhile, the industry weighed in. Remy Ma reportedly told friends, "This is foul. Ain't no coming back from this kind of betrayal." Fat Joe, close to both Cam and Jim in the past, posted a cryptic message. "Some people play chess with lives. Don't let M." Even Funk Flex got involved, playing the leaked audio on Hot 97 and screaming over it. This is hip-hop betrayal at its finest. You can't write this kind of drama. But the most chilling development came late that night. A new file surfaced, and this one wasn't just audio, it was video. Grainy shot from a backstage corner, but real. You could see Jim lunging, people holding him back, and Chrissy's husband standing with his arms crossed, smirking. The internet froze. That smirk, that look, became the new meme. People captioned it, "The smile of betrayal." Some fans swore it looked rehearsed, as if he wanted to provoke Jim into exploding while cameras were rolling. Now the narrative shifted. Was Chrissy's husband playing the long game? Was this all a setup to destroy Jim's credibility publicly? Or was Jim truly spiraling out of control, giving his enemies the ammunition they needed? Fans were divided, but one thing was certain. This was no longer just a feud. This was a war. And just when the fire couldn't burn hotter, the anonymous account teased the next drop with 3 words. "The confession's coming." The entire internet held its breath. What confession? Who was speaking? And how much darker? Could this possibly get? The internet had never been this silent. Everyone was waiting, refreshing, and praying that the anonymous account was bluffing. But then, at exactly 3 a.m., the confession tape dropped. A 7-minute audio file that would change everything. Fans who clicked play were met with a voice they never expected to hear. Chrissy's husband himself. Calm, smug, and devastatingly candid. "I told her he was never built for her. I told her he was weak. She knew it too. Every time he left, her waiting, every time he chose the streets over her, she'd call me. And I'd tell her one day he'll burn it all down himself." And that's exactly what's happening now. The world froze. There it was, spoken clearly, no edits, no denials. The man who was supposed to be outside this narrative was in fact, at the center of it. He wasn't just trash-talking Jim. He was admitting to being Chrissy's emotional safety net. He was admitting that for years. He'd been the one she leaned on whenever Jim faltered. Social media went feral. Chrissy's been double-timing this whole time. Was this emotional cheating or worse? Theories were wild, but the confession made one thing undeniable. The betrayal ran far deeper than anyone imagined. Jim wasn't just fighting Chrissy's husband over a backstage altercation. He was fighting years of secrecy that had now been ripped open for the world. But the most gut-wrenching part of the tape wasn't the insults. It came halfway through when Chrissy's voice cut in. Fans immediately recognized it. Raspy, emotional, and unmistakable. "I don't know what to do. He don't listen, he don't care, he just explodes. I can't stop him. Sometimes I think you're right. Sometimes I think I should have." The audio cuts, leaving the sentence unfinished. The ellipses haunted everyone. Should have what? Fans demanded. Should have left him? Should have chosen someone else? The lack of clarity made it worse than any outright statement. It was raw, was vulnerable, it was enough to send Jim into a spiral the world had never seen before. Because not even 24 hours after the confession tape leaked, Jim went live again. Shirtless, pacing, veins popping in his neck, he screamed at the camera you wanted the world to hear. "You got it? You think you got me? Nah, I'm still standing. But Chrissy, you broke me. And him. He a dead man walking." His words were so explosive that Instagram cut the live midstream. Fans swore they saw him smash something off camera. Before the feed died, the fallout was catastrophic. Chrissy deactivated her Instagram within hours. Paparazzi caught her crying outside her home, refusing to answer questions. Her husband, he doubled down. He posted a black and white picture of a chessboard with the caption, "Checkmate." That single post garnered over 500,000 comments. In minutes, mostly snake emojis and death threats. The industry started choosing sides. Remy Ma posted a story saying, "Sometimes loyalty is the hardest pill to swallow." Fat Joe unfollowed Chrissy completely. Funk Flex spun the confession. Tape live on Hot 97 like it was a diss record. Even Cardi B, who rarely dips into Dipset drama, tweeted, "This some Shakespeare-level betrayal." The culture had spoken. This wasn't entertainment anymore. This was devastation. And yet, the internet couldn't get enough. Fans began breaking down every old LHHATL episode like forensic experts. They replayed Chrissy's tone in old confessionals. It's the way she'd look at her phone off camera. The unexplained absences. Suddenly, every smirk, every side-eye, every tense dinner scene had new meaning. Fans were convinced the betrayal was hiding in plain sight all along. But then came the true dagger. An extended version of the confession tape leaked by yet another anonymous account. And this one left no ambiguity. Chrissy's voice returned near the end, shaking, crying, and whispering, "I can't leave him. No matter what, I can't let him go. But I don't trust him either. I only trust you." It was over. Fans were hysterical. Was this confirmation that Chrissy had chosen her husband emotionally while still clinging to Jim physically? Was this proof of a split loyalty that explained every messy year of their roller coaster relationship? The betrayal was so layered it stopped feeling like reality TV and started feeling like Greek tragedy. Jim's reaction came fast. An insider leaked that he smashed his studio equipment in rage, canceling recording sessions indefinitely. He reportedly told friends, "It ain't about music no more. It's about revenge." The chilling rumor sent fans into panic mode, worried this would spill from social media into the streets, and then, in the cruelest twist yet, Spice, who had tried to stay out of the chaos, accidentally fanned the flames. During a live performance in Atlanta, fans began chanting, "Checkmate," and Spice stopped mid-song, shaking her head. "This ain't no game. Y'all watching a man's whole life burn down." Clips of her reaction went viral, framing the feud not as entertainment, but as a cultural implosion. Meanwhile, Chrissy's silence became unbearable. Her fan pages begged for a statement. Her critics demanded an apology. When she finally resurfaced, it wasn't with words. She posted a single photo, her hand bare, without Jim's ring. The caption, "Free." That one word shattered the internet into pieces. Fans screamed that it was confirmation she'd left him for good. Others said it was a stunt to protect herself. Either way, the symbolism was brutal. Jim's enemies celebrated. 50 Cent posted a troll meme of Jim crying with the caption, "Told y'all, boy wasn't built for this." Cameron, who had stayed silent up until now, posted a purple heart emoji with no context, fueling theories that he had secretly been behind the leaks all along. The betrayal wasn't just personal anymore. It was an open wound bleeding across the entire hip-hop world, and the question no one could shake was this: where does Jim go from here? His legacy, his relationship, his pride, all shredded in 1 week of leaks. Every live, every tweet, every tape chipped away at the myth of him being untouchable. For decades, he'd been Harlem's capo, the Dipset general. But now, fans saw not a leader, but a man broken in front of millions. The confession tape didn't just destroy his image. It destroyed the idea of loyalty in hip-hop friendships and relationships. Chrissy and Jim could collapse this publicly. What hope was there for anyone else? The betrayal became bigger than them, became a cautionary tale. And yet, even in the ashes, the fire kept burning. Because that same anonymous account teased something even darker. A final tweet read, 1. Last file, the video. Then it's over. Fans froze. If audio alone caused this much devastation, what would happen if video proof dropped? Would Jim survive it emotionally, mentally, or even physically? Could Chrissy withstand the backlash? Would the culture ever forgive them? No one had answers. Only one certainty remained. The storm wasn't over, was only just beginning. And now we're left standing in the wreckage of a story that shook hip-hop. Love, loyalty, and legacy to its absolute core. What started as a backstage argument spiraled into a full-blown cultural collapse with leaked audios, secret confessions, and betrayals so raw they feel like open wounds. But this isn't over. Not even close. The streets are still whispering. Anonymous accounts are still teasing more drops. And if that final video leak really exists, then trust me, the next chapter could end careers, destroy families, and rewrite the history of one of hip-hop's most infamous love stories. So now I need you. Yes, you watching this right now. Don't just scroll. Don't just watch in silence. Hit that like button like your life depends on it, because the more engagement this gets, the faster we can bring you the next exclusive leak before anyone else. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Whose side are you on? Was Chrissy the victim or the villain? Did Jim deserve this heartbreak, or did he create it with his own hands? And what do you think that final video could show? Your theories matter, and we're pinning the best ones. And most importantly, subscribe right now. Because the next time we go live, we might be playing the footage that changes everything. You don't want to hear it secondhand. You don't want to find out too late. This is more than gossip. This is history in real time, and you're part of it. Stay locked in, stay loud, stay ready, because the next bombshell is already loading.